was going to do that crap. All right, let me see if I can get this shared. Where are we? Over here. Let's see. Hey guys, if you're there, I'm getting everything set up. Let's see if I'm hopefully not sideways. There we go. And of course I'm sideways. Why won't it cooperate? Sometimes it will let me do it and sometimes it won't. It's just so, I need a tech person. See if y'all can see that. Yeah, okay. All right, let me share to the group. My tea kettle is about to go off. All right, let some people jump on. And I will check the comments in a minute. Let me turn off my do not disturb, or put on my do not disturb. The phone will cooperate. Come on. Well, there it goes. Do not disturb. Okay, got that ready. All right, let me get my tea kettle and we'll get started. Let everybody jump on. Hopefully some people will jump on. How is everybody doing today? I'm Lindy. If you guys are new to me, Paleobarbie does keto. I'm gonna drink a cup of coffee, or not drink a sip of my cup of coffee. And today I'm gonna cook keto lasagna and some garlic rolls using Maria Emmerich's bread recipe. I made it last week and I really loved it. That's good. Say hi if you're on. Hi, Larissa. So, the first thing I'm going to do is get the rolls going and get them in the oven, and then we'll do the lasagna. So I wanted to show you guys how to do that. Before we get started with that, though, I picked a winner for the sharing the other videos. I'm going to announce that at the end, so you guys don't let me forget, okay, to announce who won for sharing the other two videos. So same thing goes for this video. If you share this video on your timeline, in a group, please put shared in the comments so I know that you shared it. That way more people get these recipes, and I'll give away a prize to pick out the people who shared, okay? So let's get started here. The first thing I'm going to do is the bread, and this is the bread that Al Roker has been making. I don't know if you're on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, first of all, you need to be following me. I'm at Paleobarbie on Instagram. But follow Al Roker because he posts all kinds of great food, guys. I love following his page. And he makes a lot of Maria Emmerich's recipes, which I love her, which is why I gave one of the cookbooks away. And so this bread recipe is her bread recipe. Al Roker makes it every week, and I think I probably am going to be making it every week now too, because the ingredients are great and it actually tastes like bread, guys. Imagine, you know. So I got the recipe off of the Today Show page. You can go on there and print it. I'm gonna actually put the link later for you guys on here for this recipe, but I'm tweaking it a little bit to make it garlic for the lasagna, but you don't have to put the garlic in it. You can just make it plain so that you can have it for other things. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see that I made a breakfast sandwich with it this morning, and you can make it the rolls as big or small as you want. You can make them sub size, you can make them, you know, bun size like for hamburgers, or you can make them smaller, which is what I did last time. I'm going to make a couple that are bigger this time just for making like a piece of garlic bread type thing. And so this is where I got that recipe. She also has it on her Pinterest, Maria Emmerich's Pinterest, and I'm sure it's in one of the books, but I'm not sure which one it's in, so I'll just post the link. But let me get started, and if you have any questions or comments, I will come check as I get in between, so bear with me. But make sure you say hi if you're here. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is put our dry ingredients in our mixer. You can use a hand mixer if you want. If you don't have, you don't have to have a KitchenAid to do this. I just like using my KitchenAid because it was expensive and I want to use it. So the first thing I'm going to put in is my almond flour. You want good quality almond flour. I get mine at Sam's, and they quit carrying it and now they're carrying it again, but they have a different brand. So well, I'll let you know how I like it if it's any different than the old brand, but it doesn't look different. You can also get it at Walmart, is a good place to get it because they have a really good price on it there for a bigger bag. So I'm going to put 1.5 cups of my almond flour in here that I had already measured out. We're going to put 2 teaspoons of our baking powder. Mash it up. Getting to the bottom of it. And I'm a messy cook, guys. All right, so I've got that going. I'm gonna do a teaspoon of sea salt or pink Himalayan salt, whichever one you prefer. I'm using sea salt right now because I'm out of my Himalayan. Let's see, is that all my dry ingredients? Just double checking. Oh, yeah, psyllium husk. If you've never used psyllium husk, you can get it at the health food store. This is the brand that I use. It's kind of faded, but it's the Now brand. And it's really great fiber. And it's the same thing that's in like those fiber drinks you buy at the store that taste nasty. But it's a great way to up the fiber and to make something fuller so that you have more, it feels like you have a bigger piece of bread, or you know what I mean? It's bulking it up. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. So I'm putting 5 tablespoons of this. Now last week when I made this, I doubled the recipe so that I'd have more for the whole week. I think that's 5. And that worked out really well because this makes about 6, but today I'm gonna make 2 bigger ones, so it probably will make less than that, less than 6. But you know, it's up to you how many you want to make at a time. I feel like if you're going to mix something up like this, you might as well go ahead and mix up a double batch because then you'll have extra, especially if you're going to eat it or if you're sharing it like I am with my husband. So now I'm going to put about a tablespoon of garlic powder in here with the dry ingredients. So that's going to give us our good garlic flavor. But then we're also going to toast it and then put some butter and garlic on it then too, which I don't know if you'll see that part. You may see a picture. Let me put this over here. So now I'm going to get that going just to give it a good zhuzh and mix together. You always want to get it nice and... Also that baking powder sometimes clumps up, so you want to make sure you mix it to get some of that mixed up so that you can do that. What's everybody up to today? Everyone having a great week? I've had a headache this is the 3rd day. I still have a headache, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday. I don't know if it's hormonal or if it's sinus, but it's something like I used to have headaches every single day, which was part of my, autoimmune issues. Since I've started keto, they've almost totally gone away, but the last couple days I've had this headache, so I don't know if it's because the weather here has been crazy. Like we have had 20 degrees the other morning, and tomorrow it's going to be 70, so welcome to Texas, right? So I think my allergies and sinuses tend to get stopped up, and I get headaches from that when the weather changes like that, especially lately because it's been like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I just wish it would stay winter for like a month, and then it can be spring. Like, I don't want to have all the seasons in 1 week. So you guys that live where it's like stays the season all the time I'm so jealous. All right, so that's good and mixed. Is it still cold there, Larissa? She's in North Carolina. All right, so we've got that. Now we're gonna put our wet ingredients, but first we have to separate our egg whites, which we'll see how much of a mess I make. So So we need 3 egg whites, I believe. Let me make sure. Yes, 3 egg whites. And it says you can use coconut flour for this recipe, but if you're using coconut flour, to double the amount of egg whites that you use, because coconut flour tends to soak up a lot of liquid, so you want to add more. So I haven't tried it with the coconut flour yet. I'll let you know if I do. But I've so far liked it this way, so I don't know why I would want to try it a different way. We will see if I can separate these. I find that, and I just messed it up. Farm eggs. Let's see if I can do it in this one. Nope. These farm eggs are harder for me to separate because the shells are different, I find, than the ones at the store. So sometimes I mess up the shell when I'm trying to do this. Ah, I got that one. Win! So my extra egg yolks, I don't like to just throw them all away. So what I do with at least 2 of them is I put them over my dog's food. My dogs love them, and it makes them eat all their food. Also, the little bitty eggs from the little young chickens tend to be harder to crack, and so then I end up a shell in here. Get my towel. All right, so I got my egg whites. And I have 1 egg that's stuck in here because it got cracked. Another one got cracked and leaked, so I'll put this up. Okay, so now we're gonna put our egg whites in here. We're gonna put 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And go ahead and get this on low. And you want to mix this slow. You don't want to mix it really fast. Also, she says if you have trouble with it rising, you can use whole eggs, but it worked fine when I did it. It's starting to look doughy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 7/8 of a cup of hot water into here, which is just below your full cup. Let me get my hot water. And I found the second time I made it, I had to add a little bit more psyllium husk because for some reason it seemed like the water was, it was too much water, but it was the same amount, so I don't know what I did. So if you find it's too liquidy when you get ready to make your rolls, add a couple tablespoons of more psyllium husk in there and it'll work. I can smell the garlic. Everybody around here is like, I'm ready for summer. Can you just have summer? And me, I'm like, I just wanted to stay winter for a little bit. So I love the spring and I love the winter and the fall, but summers in Texas are really hot. So for me, I don't like it to be 105 outside. I really just don't. I like to be able to go outside and enjoy the weather. And I know for some of you that's not, cold is not enjoying the weather, but yeah, no. Okay, that looks good. So it's gonna look like this, like a dough consistency. Get it all off of here. Let me go get my pan so I can show you how we're gonna do this. Get all this out of the way. And I suggest using parchment paper if you have it. If not, make sure you spray your pan really well. And I'll tell you a trick that I do. I spray a little bit of olive oil on my cookie sheet before I put my parchment paper on, and it makes it stick down. And that way, and you could use butter to do that too if you want to just rub some butter. But it makes it stick down so that it's not, like when you first take it off the roll, it's wanting to like flip up. And this makes it stay down flatter. So, tip there for you. And you could just spray your pan and just put your stuff on it. But I find there are some things, even after you spray your pan, that still want to stick. So I just feel like if I have parchment paper, I'm going to use it. Okay? Because it works. All right, so I'm going to make two that are a little bit bigger because I'm going to cut them in half to toast them to make my garlic rolls. And then the rest of them I'm just going to make the normal size. So they said, so this is the normal size. So you just kind of make a ball and, you know, like you're making a patty almost. And that's about 2 net carbs. So these bigger ones will be a little bit, will probably be more like 3 net carbs maybe. Maybe a little more. But I'm going to cut them in half, so you'll have half of it. So I'm going to make these a little bit longer. And flatten it a little bit, because I want it to, it's going to bump up. The apple cider vinegar and the garlic together, I know that doesn't sound like it would be a great combination, but it actually smells really good. Wish y'all could smell it. Like I said, normally these make 6, but because I'm making a couple that are bigger. And Al Roker said he actually doubles his size of them because he uses them for hamburger buns. The original recipe says it's for sub rolls, so she does bigger sub rolls with them, which you can do. But I like to have the little ones so that I can make like a little breakfast sandwich if I'm not fasting, or like a, you know, little sandwich at lunch. Yesterday I had one for lunch with like some salami and cheese on it. It was really good. So I'm getting 5 with these longer ones. Okay, and I got 6 when I did the other way, so, you know. So that's what they look like. And it takes them about 40 minutes to 50 minutes, depending on your oven. 350. So I'm going to put them in my oven, and we'll check on them here in a minute. We'll get the lasagna started. So give me 1 second to get all my lasagna stuff. Set a timer because I am terrible about getting distracted. You guys get distracted easily, or is it just me? All the stuff, and I'll get this plugged in. We'll be good to go. Now, I have made this lasagna for years, and you know, when I was paleo, primal, now I'm calling it keto lasagna, but when I made it in other years, I didn't really care about the carbs that were in the sauce. So a lot of times I made my own sauce, which is fine. But now that I'm keto, I pay more attention to what sauce I use because of the carbs. So I get no sugar added sauce. I use the Rouse for this recipe, but you can use what you want. Let me grab a couple more things. What else do I need? That's it. Let me just plug this in. So I'm gonna come around here real quick and plug this in. Bear with me. What's everyone else making for dinner tonight? Anything good? So while I'm plugging this in, on Monday, I'm going to be making a pork tenderloin that's going to be stuffed, wrapped in bacon. So that's going to be really good. All right. There we go. Let me get the meat in, and then I will come see your comments real quick. Let's see what oil. I have a little bit of coconut oil. So we put a little bit of coconut oil just because, even though the meat has a lot of fat, just because I don't want it to stick. So we'll get that going. You can use butter. You can use olive. I'm out of olive oil, so I didn't get any Aldi yesterday. Should have. So, alright, that's all. So I'm going to use half of this meat. This was from the 5-pound package that they have at Aldi. And I've made a couple burgers and then I froze the other half. And so this half I'm ended up making 2 of these lasagnas, one to keep for later, because I'm doing a YouTube video for the other one. So I'm going to use half of this. So let me get a knife. Now this is not grass-fed meat. I do buy most of the time grass-fed beef. Or you could use sausage in this, that would be really good. But I'm on a strict budget this week, so that's why I'm not using grass-fed. I'm going to get that in there and get it going. Break it up. And I will use the rest of this for the other half of the recipe later. What do I do with my towel? Okay, so first I'm going to do is get this going, get it brown. What I did ahead of time was I took my zucchini, and let me show you. And I sliced it up. So I just cut the ends off after I washed it, stood it up, and sliced it. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. Some of them will be thicker than others. And then I laid it out on paper towels and sprinkled it with salt. And what that does is it's been sitting over there with the salt on it, and all the juice is starting to come out of it, and I'm going to press it with some more paper towels before I use it. And that way it's not going to be as juicy in the pan and making everything so watery. And if you can see up close how much water is coming out of those, it helps out a lot. Let me grab a spoon. Let me get this brown. Okay, so this recipe developed because I was out of ricotta. And I always use ricotta. And when I was doing Weight Watchers and all those other failed things, I used to use cottage cheese because I would use like the light cottage cheese or whatever it's called. And then, because, you know, we were trying to be low fat back then, right? So that's what I used back then. All right, getting that separated a little bit. So while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and add some Italian seasoning. I use my Thrive Life Italian seasoning. It's freeze-dried, so it makes the herbs smell really fresh. I'm going to do it this way because it gets stuck in those little things. Now do it right in here while it's browning. I'm going to do some salt. You want to season that meat up. Some onion powder. And probably I'm using about a teaspoon of each. I'm just eyeballing it. But do it to taste, guys. Everybody's taste is different. And some more garlic. I actually had my fresh garlic out and I just totally used the garlic powder. Oh well. You can use fresh or garlic powder, whatever you want. I actually may just go ahead and add some for good measure. I love garlic, so for me there can't be enough garlic. But if you don't like garlic, don't put that much garlic. We're just going to get this all going. I'll go ahead and add a clove. How about that? And then I'm going to come see your comments real quick. And come see your comments. And then we'll assemble it when this is brown in a second. Well, we got one more thing to add to this. Let's see. Chicken Alfredo with spaghetti squash. Yum. Yeah, Texas summers are terrible, Larissa. Hi, Rosio. Cool deal. All right. Y'all share. Share. And if you're watching the replay later, share, please. I'm trying to get more people in our group and more people on our page. I still haven't been able to give my giveaway away for getting our group up to some more members. So, if you know anyone that's doing keto, there are so many keto groups, guys, and I understand that. But I feel like I said before, there are some really bad keto groups out there, and then there's some that, like, I like to be in several of them because they're good groups. Okay, I've got that pretty brown. Now I'm going to take a block of cream cheese, and I'm going to stick that in there with it. Now, like I said, I used to use ricotta. I was out of ricotta one day, and I was like, oh, I wish I'd remembered I didn't have any ricotta, or I forgot to get it at the store, or whatever it was. And I had cream cheese, so I was like, well, let me try cream cheese, because I put cream cheese in other casseroles that have hot, meat and stuff like that in it. And so I was like, I bet that'd be good. It came out really great. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna break it up a little bit so it's easier to get in here. And we're just gonna let this melt up and smear it, mix it together. That's that cream cheese. And now also another tip, I know most of you probably know this already, but take your cream cheese out of the refrigerator, I would say a good 30 minutes before you want to use it for anything, any recipe like that, because it makes it so much easier to work with if it's already a little bit softened, You don't want it to be like a brick of ice when you start using it. We're gonna get this all mixed together. And I haven't made this with sausage in a while, but it is really good with sausage. Just using what we got. And this meat is definitely more fatty than the meat I used before, which is good on keto, or that I used last time. And you just want to keep mashing that cream cheese around until it gets, softened enough that it's really well mixed with this. You can take your meat out and drain it first if you really want to. Some people have this thing about the fat, even though we know better now. But a lot of this will stay in here when I scoop it out anyway. That looks pretty good. Almost mixed. See, it goes way faster if you take your cream cheese out. That's for sure. So we'll assemble this, and then when the rolls come out, I'll stick it in the oven, and then I'll post pictures afterwards. And I'll put the link to the recipe. This recipe I have not typed up yet, so I will type that up, I guess. Okay, that's good and mixed. Let me turn this off. Okay, let me get my other pan, and I'll show you how we're going to assemble this. Out of the way. Carry your mixer like you were taught to carry your microscope in school, guys. You don't want to drop your mixer. All right, I'm going to grab some more paper towels and show you guys how to squeeze all that out. Second batch here too. Then grab paper towels. Okay, so before I start layering, I want to take some paper towels and mash down on these zucchini. And get all that water that we are trying to get out of here. Squeeze it out best we can. You can press on it really hard because you're just going to be using these for noodles, so it's okay if they get smashed. So pull that up. Then I'm going to flip them and do the exact same thing. And I leave the skin on my noodles, guys. You don't like the skin, you can take the skin off. I can't taste the difference if I have the skin on or skin off. So the ones I've already done, I'm going to put a layer of them in the bottom of the pan. I've sprayed the bottom of the pan with some olive oil. Alright, so I got my first layer. Let me squeeze out these other ones. Next layer. So those of you that are doing keto, and I know some of you are in here exploring, some of you are just wanting the recipe, but those of you that are doing keto, what's the something that you missed that you had to give up? Someone asked me that the other day, and I was like, well, because I was paleo for so long, I had already given up bread, but I do miss like croissants. Like, so I know if I went to Paris, I would not be not having a croissant because, yeah, no. And I know Larissa went to Paris, so she knows what I'm talking about. Because when I went to Paris, when I was a teenager, I just remember how good they were. They're nothing like the ones we have here, that's for sure. But it's not like I sit here and crave it because I haven't had them in so long, really. I don't. My husband definitely misses bread. He loves bread. Alright, so I've got that all dried off and I've got my first layer down. Now I'm going to take the garlic powder, put a little bit on my noodles. Where did I stick that? Here's my cheese too. And I've already ruined my shirt for the day. I really, have like 6 aprons over here and never wear them. I need to start wearing them. Alright, so I'm going to take half of the meat mixture and I'm going to put it on top of these noodles. And I'm just going to spread that out as best I can. Now, it's not going to be even. Now, if you want more meat, you can like double the amount of meat that you use and make it to where there's tons of meat. And that's fine. But I'm trying to stay in my macros for each serving, kind of. So I'm just trying to make sure each noodle has some meat on it. Because I tend to overeat, on protein, especially. All right, so then I'm going to put some mozzarella cheese. I shredded my own. It's the best way to do it, because then you know what's in it, basically. And then just put one little layer of that. And then I'm going to put some sauce. And the reason I put mozzarella before I put the sauce and then I'm going to put more mozzarella is because if there is any excess water from these noodles, it's going to soak some of it up and thicken it up. So you don't want to have watery lasagna. Ugh. Alright, so I'm just going to cover that in sauce. Alright, I'm going to save the rest of the sauce for the top. Spread that just a little bit. Then I'm going to put my other layer of zucchini. And you could do more than 2 layers. You could do 3 layers. If you want it, if you're feeding more people, you can add more meat. It's just him and I right now because my son's at college, so I'm not going to if I know I have more people coming, I would probably double the amount of everything just to get it thicker and put it in a bigger pan. But it's up to you how much you want to make. And I used 2 big zucchinis, were just almost perfect to cover. Depends on how big your zucchinis are. All right, garlic again. And I don't need to salt them because I salted them before when I used it to get the water out. So. All right, so now I'm gonna put the rest of my meat. Okay, spreading it, just doing the best to get a little bit on each one. You can tell I'm concentrating because I'm getting quiet. Any of you going to KetoCon? If you are, put in the comments. I am going. If you don't know what KetoCon is, it's a keto conference. They have talks, just like any conference that you would go to, like a convention type thing, by different people, keto doctors, people like Maria Emmerich, things like that. And then they also have vendors, so you can try different keto foods and things like that. Yeah, so it's going to be fun. I didn't get to go last year. I wanted to go last year. It just didn't fit into my schedule good. And my car didn't have air conditioning, which I may have that trouble this year, but I'm still going. Okay, a little more cheese. Then I'm going to put the rest of the sauce, and then one last topping of cheese. Now, if you're trying to stay 20 net carbs a day, if you know you're going to make this, it's about 10 carbs, I think, per serving. 6 servings is what I figured it out to be. So, without the bread. So, if you know you want to have a meal like this, I always say eat 0 carb for your other meals. You know, if you're fasting in the morning, then you don't have to worry about that anyway. But then for lunch or whatever, have just meat and cheese or eggs and bacon or whatever. And that way you save your carbs for the evening and you can enjoy your lasagna and not feel like you've overdone it on your carbs. And I'm going to put just a little bit more on top to make it nice and melty and gooey. And then I will come check the comments because I can't put this in the oven until the bread is out. Okay, so that's good. So I'll put that in the little piece of meat there in the oven when the bread comes out. 350, about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on your oven, because you basically want to make sure your zucchini is cooked and your cheese is all melty and golden brown and gooey, right? Just like a normal lasagna looks. You can check your noodles just sticking a knife in. And making sure that they're tender. Let me move this out of the way. Let me check the comments. So we'll get that in the oven after that. Oops, there goes my comments. KetoCon's in Austin, so gosh, my hair looks terrible. It's hair washing day, so yeah, KetoCon is in Austin, and it is June, I think, 28th that weekend, and It is, so Thursday night, actually there's some things going on, but it actually officially doesn't start till Friday. The Friday, Saturday, and over on Sunday, I believe. I'll be in North Texas, so I'll probably drive to Austin from Dallas unless I am on Thursday evening, unless I find some really cheap flights that I can fly from Dallas to Austin. But otherwise, I'll probably wait and go. I'll just drive Thursday night, and then I'll be there. So I can have I'll post some information about KetoCon in the group. Hi Jill, so that you guys can get some information about it. They did have their tickets on sale, but that sale has ended. So I think the tickets are, they're either $199 or something like that. It includes a lot of stuff though. There's like, you'll get a lot of stuff from the vendors that'll be sample stuff that kind of gives back to what you paid. Plus you're seeing some great people. Maria Emmerich's gonna be there. Dr. Barry's gonna be there talking. I mean, there's tons and tons of people that are gonna give talks. And so you'll get a lot of information, and I'll be there. I'll do live streams and stuff, so you guys will get to see it if you can't go. So no worries, you'll still get the info. I'll bring it all back to you. Plus I will be bringing back a lot of stuff that they give me, so I'll be giving those away in group for prizes, so that'll be cool. So y'all keep sharing so we can grow our group. Excuse me. I'm gonna get this in the oven as soon as the rolls come out. I will show you what they look like when they're done, and the rolls, what they look like when they're done. If you just got here or you're catching the replay, make sure you share. Oh, I need to say who won. So the person that won from sharing the last two videos is Tony. So Tony, if you're not on here, I'll tag you. You won a little package of soap stuff from Crystal Hastings, who's in our group. Really great. She makes homemade soaps. They're amazing, you guys. Oh my gosh, so amazing. And she makes like serums for your face, and like chapsticks are all natural essential oils and all that stuff. And you guys that know me know that I'm an oily girl. I love me some essential oils. And so they're really great stuff. So I'm gonna send her one of those. So you guys, for this video, share. Let's see if we can get 10 shares, 10 separate shares, 10 people to share this video, and I'll come up with something really awesome to give you guys. Cool deal? All right, so I will see you guys soon. Share the video. Check out my Instagram. Check out Al Roker's Instagram. Maria Emmerich, of course, too, if you're not on there. And I will post the link to the bread recipe. And when I type up the lasagna recipe, I'll post it. Also, I'm going to be making a YouTube video of it, and I will post that. And I will see you guys later. Have a great day.